I caught my fiancée hooking up with her best friend's boyfriend hours before our wedding. Then she said, relax, it was just physical. So I taught them what real consequences look like. All right, Reddit. So I spent 4 months bankrolling my fiancée's vocal lessons at $200 a pop with her best friend's boyfriend. Turns out he was teaching her more than breathing exercises. Caught them the night before our wedding at the rehearsal dinner. I broke his nose and went nuclear on both of them. Grab some popcorn, Bekasue, this is about to get wild. I, 32 male, work as a cardiac surgeon. I spend my days literally holding people's hearts in my hands. Being a cardiac surgeon means I deal with life and death daily aortic valves, bypass grafts, transplants, high-stakes stuff where one wrong move ends someone's life. You learn to compartmentalize, keep emotions separate from the job. My attending used to say I had ice in my veins. That emotional control served me well in the OR. Saved a lot of lives. Made me good at my job. Got me promoted fast. I met Heather 3 years ago at a hospital fundraiser. One of those black tie events where rich people write checks and pat themselves on the back for caring about healthcare. I hate those things. The fake conversations. The networking. The way everyone acts like saving lives is less important than donor relations. I was at the refreshment table when Heather showed up. She was there with her parents. Old money types who acted like their last name should come with a crown and a throne. Her dad owned half the commercial real estate downtown. Her mom was on every charity board that mattered, mostly for social status. Heather was their golden child, the one who could do no wrong. She approached me while I was checking my phone for any reason to bail early. You look as bored as I feel, she said. We talked for an hour. She gave me her number, and we started dating. For a while, it was good. Really good. She got my weird schedule, understood why I couldn't always make plans, didn't complain when I had to cancel dinner for emergency surgery. She had her own life. Her parents were less thrilled. I met them 6 months in. Her father spent the entire dinner asking about my financial prospects and family background. Her mom kept mentioning that Heather had dated better before me. Heather laughed it off, said they were just protective, said they'd warm up to me eventually. 2 years in, I proposed. Bought a ring with money I'd been saving. She said yes. The problem started about 6 months before the wedding. Heather decided she wanted to explore her artistic side. Translation. She went to a karaoke place with her friends, got carried away with the music, and some equally enthusiastic girls told her she sounded just like Taylor Swift. People say that like it's a Grammy, not a warning. Taylor's fine if you're into that breathy, reading my diary over 4 chords style. It's less singing and more emotionally loaded voicemail. But whatever. I wasn't trying to get jumped by a swarm of Swifties, so I kept my mouth shut, nodded supportively, and figured it would blow over like her previous hobbies. The yoga phase lasted 2 months. The pottery phase lasted 3 weeks. I gave singing 6 months max. Heather became obsessed. Started watching vocal coach videos on YouTube, practicing scales in the shower, talking about breath support and diaphragm control like she was preparing for the Met. She announced she wanted professional voice lessons. I have real talent, Ryan. I just need proper training to unlock it. Proper training meant money. She found a vocal coach through Angela, some guy named Sebastian, who'd worked with several successful artists. When I looked him up, his biggest credit was producing a demo for a local band that went nowhere. But he charged $200 per session and had a slick website, so Heather was convinced he was legit. It's an investment in myself, she said when I hesitated at the price. You invest in your career. Why can't I invest in mine? Career. She was calling singing her career after one enthusiastic karaoke night, but I didn't argue. Just started paying for lessons twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday evenings, $400 a week, $1,600 a month, nearly $20,000 a year for my fiancée to pretend she was the next pop star she'd come home from lessons talking about breathing exercises, pitch control, vocal fry, runs, and riffs. All the technical stuff that made it sound legitimate. Sebastian was dating Angela, Heather's best friend since middle school. They'd known each other forever. Angela was cool, though. Down to earth. Actually worked for a living as a graphic designer instead of living off family money. She and Heather had been friends for 20 years. Closer than sisters. Angela was maid of honor. Sebastian was a groomsman because of Angela. The 4 of us hung out regularly. Everything seemed fine. Normal. I was working. Heather was pursuing her passion. We were planning a wedding. Living our lives. The wedding week was chaotic. Heather barely spoke to me. She was staying at Angela's place most of the week. It's easier to plan, she said. Plus, tradition. You're not supposed to see me before the wedding. Sure. Tradition. The same tradition she ignored when she moved into my place after 6 months of dating Thursday was the rehearsal dinner. Heather's parents rented out their country club. 200 people showed up for a rehearsal. I wore my good suit. My parents wore their best and looked uncomfortable the entire night, which made sense considering they'd gone into debt to pay for half this circus. Her father gave a speech about family legacy and Heather's bright future. Mentioned me exactly once. And of course, we welcome Ryan into our family. Thanks, real touching. After dinner, there were refreshments, because Heather's parents never did anything halfway. I was talking with my cousin Danny when I realized Heather had disappeared. Checked the patio, the dining room, the main hall. Nothing. Angela was there chatting with bridesmaids, looking stressed. Where's Heather? She went upstairs, said she needed to take a call. Upstairs. The country club had private rooms for members. I headed up. The hallway was quiet. Too quiet. Then I heard something from a room at the end. Not voices, sounds. I didn't knock. Just tried the door. Locked, I kicked it. The frame splintered. The door flew open. Heather was on the couch. Sebastian was on top of her. Her dress hiked up, his pants down. They both scrambled like roaches when you turn on a light. For exactly 2 seconds, I just stood there, processing. Then Sebastian started talking. Man, wait, this isn't... I grabbed him by the throat and yanked him off the couch. He stumbled, trying to pull his pants up. I didn't let him get his footing, punched him square in the face. Felt his nose crunch under my knuckles. Blood everywhere. He went down hard. Heather screamed, Ryan, stop! I turned on her. She was trying to fix her dress, crying, makeup running. How long? It's not what you think. How long? Sebastian was on the floor, hands over his face, blood pouring between his fingers. Making pathetic, whimpering sounds, I wanted to kick him. The only thing stopping me was knowing I'd lose my medical license if I went too far. 4 months, Heather whispered. 4 months. I'd paid for nearly 32 voice lessons over that time. $200 each. $6,400 so my fiancée could mess around with her vocal coach? I laughed. Couldn't help it. The absurdity of it all. Sebastian tried to get up. Bad move. I kicked him in the ribs. Not hard enough to break anything, but hard enough to put him back down. He curled up like a kicked dog. Ryan, please, we can talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. Wedding's off. We're done. Pack your stuff out of my apartment. Don't be dramatic. It was just physical. Just physical. This woman really said just physical. Like that made it better, I grabbed Sebastian by his shirt collar and hauled him to his feet. He was swaying, barely conscious, blood still pouring from his nose. Get up! You're going to tell Angela what you did. Both of you. Right now. Heather's face went white. No. Ryan, you can't. Sebastian, do something! Heather was looking at him like he could fix this. Sebastian tried to pull away from my grip. Panic move. I shoved him backward. He stumbled, arms windmilling, trying to catch his balance. Heather was right behind him, trying to grab his arm. Sebastian's elbow swung wild, connected with Heather's face. Hard. The crack echoed in the room. Heather dropped like someone cut her strings. Hit the floor. Blood. Screaming. Her hands flew to her mouth. Sebastian stood there, frozen, his elbow still raised. Oh God. Oh God! I didn't mean... I looked down. There was a tooth on the carpet. An actual tooth? Heather was sobbing, blood running through her fingers. My tooth! He knocked out my tooth! Looks like your boyfriend has a mean elbow, I said. Picked up the tooth, held it up to the light like I was examining it in surgery. Lateral incisor? Clean break. You'll need an implant. Those run about $5,000. Help me, she sobbed. Help yourself. Or ask Sebastian, he's the one who hit you. Sebastian was backing toward the door, hands up. I didn't mean to. She got in the way. This is crazy. I'm leaving. What's going on up here? Someone's voice, male. One of the groomsmen, maybe. The door burst open. 4 people. 5. Then more crowding behind them. Heather's parents. Angela. My cousin Danny, random guests who'd heard the commotion. They all stopped dead when they saw the scene. Me standing there calm. Sebastian bleeding all over Heather on the floor crying. Blood running from her mouth. A tooth on the carpet. Broken furniture. Glass everywhere. Her dress hiked up and obviously messed with. Oh my God, Heather's mother gasped. What happened? Everyone was staring. Waiting. The silence stretched. Sebastian cracked first. Of course he did. He was still holding his ribs, blood dripping from his nose, backing away from me like I was going to hit him again. His voice came out high and panicked. He attacked me. He just came in and started hitting me. I need a doctor. Call the police. Why were you in here with his fiancée? Danny asked. looking at Sebastian's pants still half undone, at Heather's dress, at the couch with cushions knocked askew. We were talking. Talking? Angela pushed through the crowd, stared at Sebastian, at Heather, at the scene. Sebastian, why is your shirt off? Why is her dress? She didn't finish. Didn't need to. Everyone could see it. Sebastian's eyes went wide, panicking harder now. Angela, baby, listen. Don't baby me. What were you doing in here? Nothing. We weren't. It's not. He was sleeping with her, I said flat. Calm. I walked in on them. That's why his nose is broken. That's why she's on the floor. That's why there's no wedding tomorrow. The hallway erupted. Everyone talking at once. Shocked gasps. Someone saying, "Oh my God," over and over. That's not true. Sebastian was backing toward the wall. He's lying. He's crazy. He just attacked me. Then why are your pants undone? Angela's voice cut through the noise. Why is she half dressed? Why were you in a locked room together? Sebastian opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. The panic was taking over. He was bleeding, in pain, surrounded by people staring at him, and he broke. Okay, yes. We were together, but it's not my fault. She came on to me. She's been throwing herself at me for months. I tried to stop it, but she wouldn't leave me alone. This is all her fault. The hallway went dead silent. Heather looked up from the floor, blood all over her mouth, stared at Sebastian with pure betrayal. What? You pursued me. You said you were unhappy with him. You said you wanted me. I was weak. But you started this. Are you serious right now? Heather tried to stand, stumbled. Her voice came out weird because of the missing tooth. You told me you loved me. You said you were going to leave Angela. I never said that. You said it last week, at your apartment, after we... She stopped, realized what she was admitting, in front of everyone. Angela made a sound like she'd been punched. Last week? You were with her last week? Sebastian was full on panicking now, words tumbling out. It wasn't like that. It was just a few times. She kept texting me. She kept showing up. I couldn't say no. A few times? I stepped forward. Sebastian flinched. You said 4 months. How many times is a few over 4 months? I don't know. Maybe 20? 30? I lost count. The crowd was getting bigger. People from downstairs heard the commotion, recording on their phones. My parents pushing through. Heather's bridesmaids staring in shock. Her father's face was purple. Heather, tell me this isn't true. Heather was sobbing, still on the floor. Blood and tears and ruined makeup. Daddy, how long has this been going on? She didn't answer. Just cried harder. Sebastian kept talking. Couldn't stop himself. The coward in him taking over. 4 months! She said Ryan was always working. She said she was lonely. She said the wedding was a mistake, but she couldn't back out. I believed her. I thought I was helping. Helping? Angela's voice was ice. You thought sleeping with my best friend was helping? I didn't mean for it to happen. She kept coming to lessons. She'd stay after. She'd touch my arm. She made it impossible to say no. Shut up, Heather screamed at him. Just shut up. You're making it worse. It's bad enough that you broke my tooth, you stupid jerk. It can't get worse. He broke my nose. I need a hospital. Heather's mother moved toward her daughter, tried to help her up. Heather pushed her away. Don't touch me. We need to get you to a doctor. Your tooth. I don't care about my tooth. This is over. Everything's over. She was right. It was over. And everyone in that hallway knew exactly what had happened. Not because I forced them to confess. Because Sebastian was a coward who fell apart under pressure. Because Heather tried to defend herself and admitted everything in the process. The whole dinner party was in that hallway now. Watching, recording, whispering. The story was already spreading. Texts going out. Social media posts being written. Angela turned to Sebastian. We're done. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't come near me. If I see you again, I'm getting a restraining order. She walked away, straight through the crowd, head high. Everyone stepped aside for her. I looked at Heather's parents. The wedding's off. Keep the deposits, I'm leaving. Ryan, wait, her father started. There's nothing to wait for. Your daughter made her choice. Sebastian made his. They can deal with the consequences. I stepped over Sebastian, still sitting on the floor, holding his nose, walked past Heather crying in her mother's arms, pushed through the crowd of guests who just witnessed everything. Someone in the hallway asked, what do we do about tomorrow? There is no tomorrow, I said without stopping. Not for them. I left, walked out of that country club, got in my car, drove away. Behind me, Sebastian's cowardly confession was already being posted. Every guest who'd seen it was telling someone else. The truth was out. Not because I dragged it out of them, because Sebastian cracked like the weak little coward he was, and Heather confirmed it trying to defend herself. They'd humiliated themselves, in front of everyone who mattered. I didn't have to do a thing except show up and catch them in the act. I got in my car, drove home, called my parents from the road, drove in silence, hands steady on the wheel, mind completely empty. Got home around 2 a.m., walked into the apartment I shared with Heather. Our apartment, except it wasn't ours anymore. It was mine. She'd just been living there, rent-free, for 2 years, while planning to cheat on me after the wedding based on what she'd told Sebastian. Her stuff was everywhere. I started packing. Didn't think about it. Just moved on autopilot. Grabbed boxes from the storage closet. Started filling them with her things. Took me 3 hours. Filled 12 boxes. Carried them all to the hallway outside my apartment. Changed the locks. Called a 24-hour locksmith. Cost me $300 to get new locks installed at 3 a.m., but worth every penny. He did the job. Handed me new keys and left. My phone started buzzing. Heather called. I declined. She called again. Declined. Again. Declined. Text message. Ryan, please answer. We need to talk. I texted back one message. Your stuff's in the hallway. You have 24 hours to pick it up, or I'm donating everything to Goodwill. She called immediately. I answered. One last time. What? Ryan, please, we need to talk about this. No, we don't. Get your stuff. Don't contact me again. But the wedding. There is no wedding. There's no us. There's nothing. You made sure of that when you decided to mess around with Sebastian for 4 months. This is because you're always working. You're never home. I was lonely. Sebastian actually paid attention to me. I laughed. Couldn't help it. The audacity. You don't understand. She was crying full sobs. Please don't do this. We can work through it. I'll stop the lessons. I'll never see Sebastian again. I'll do anything. You can do whatever you want. Just do it without me. Goodbye, Heather. I hung up. Blocked her number. But she couldn't take that well. She showed up at 11 p.m. the next night. I was on the couch watching a documentary about deep-sea creatures peaceful. No drama, just marine biology and silence. Then someone knocked. Pounded, really. The kind of aggressive knocking that says the person on the other side is about to have a meltdown. I checked the peephole. Heather. Still wearing the same clothes from last night, but she'd attempted to clean herself up. Hair pulled back, sunglasses on, even though it was dark. Probably hiding whatever her face looked like after Sebastian's elbow connected with it. I opened the door. Didn't say anything. Just stood there. She pulled off the sunglasses. Her whole upper lip was swollen, bruising around her mouth. And yeah, the tooth was still gone. Big gap right in front. She looked like she'd been in a fight and lost. I'm here for my thingth, she said. I blinked. Your what? My thingth. She was getting frustrated, trying to articulate around the missing tooth. My belongings! My stuff! I bit the inside of my cheek to keep from laughing. She sounded like a cartoon character with a lisp. Oh, your things. Yeah, they're in the hallway. Help yourself. She looked past me into the apartment, like she expected to just walk in. I need to come inside to make sure you got everything. No, you don't. Everything's in the boxes. If I missed something, too bad. Her jaw clenched. This is though typical of you. Though controlling. I lived here for 2 years. I have a right to check. Controlling. The woman who cheated on me for 4 months was calling me controlling because I wouldn't let her waltz back into my apartment. You lived here rent-free. Big difference. Now you're trespassing. Take your boxes and go. I need help carrying them. Call Sebastian. He's good with his hands or his elbows, apparently. Her face went red. That's not funny. He broke my tooth. Do you know how much this is going to cost to fix? About 5 grand. I told you that last night, lateral incisor. Clean break. You'll need an implant. Better hope Daddy's willing to pay for it since Sebastian definitely can't afford it. She stared at me. You're Thucha? She stopped, frustrated by her own voice. Took a breath. Tried again. You're Thuchin. Another stop. The lisp was making her angrier. You know what? Forget it. Just give me the ring back. What ring? My engagement ring. The one you gave me. It is mine. I leaned against the doorframe. Actually, no. Engagement rings are conditional gifts. Condition being marriage. No marriage means no ring. That's basic contract law. I don't care about contract law. That ring is mine. You gave it to me. And you gave me a reason to take it back when you slept with your vocal coach. Repeatedly. For 4 months. Her hands clenched into fists. I want that ring. Give it to me right now. No. Ryan, I'm not kidding. That ring cost a fortune. You can't just keep it. Actually, I can. And I am. Consider it payment for the $6,400 I spent on voice lessons so you could mess around with Sebastian. Call it an investment recovery. She was shaking now, full body trembling. The kind of rage where someone's about to completely lose it. You are the mothed pethti, Inthathur the piteful Perthon I've ever met. The lisp made it almost impossible to take her seriously. She sounded like she was doing a bad Sylvester the Cat impression while having a breakdown. Funny. Last week you were planning to marry this petty, insecure, spiteful person. What changed? What changed? What changed? You humiliated me. In front of everyone. You made Sebastian tell everyone what we did. You broke hith Notha. You made me look like a fool. No, you did that yourself. I just walked in at the right time. She reached into her bag, pulled something out. The ring. Still on her finger. She'd been wearing it this whole time. Fine. You want this ring the bad? Here. She yanked it off her finger, held it up. You can have your stupid ring. Then she threw it. Right past my head. Through the open door. Out the window behind me. Straight into the darkness outside. We both heard it hit something. Probably the pavement. Maybe the bushes. Hard to tell. She looked shocked, like she hadn't meant to throw it that hard. Or throw it at all. Just a rage move she didn't think through. Oops, she said. I smiled. Go get it. What? I said go get it. You threw it. You can go dig around in the dark and find it. I'll wait here. Are you serious? Completely. You're not coming back in until you find that ring. And I will call 911, so get to it. Her mouth opened. Closed. She looked from me to the window to the darkness outside. It is dark. I can't see anything. That sounds like a you problem. Better use your phone flashlight. You're such a jerk. Ring. Now. Or I'm closing this door and you can explain to your parents why you lost a $5,000 engagement ring in a tantrum. Her face went white, spun around and stormed toward the stairs. I heard her heels clicking down to the ground floor. I walked to the window, watched her stumbling around outside in the dark. She had her phone out, flashlight on, scanning the ground, muttering to herself, probably cursing me out, but I couldn't hear it from up here. 5 minutes went by, then 10. She was on her hands and knees now, searching through the landscaping rocks near the building. Her fancy outfit getting dirty, hair falling in her face. 15 minutes. She moved to the bushes, digging through branches. Getting scratched, I could see her getting more frustrated by the second. 20 minutes. She stood up, looked up at my window, waved her arms, yelling something I couldn't hear. I opened the window. What? I can't find it. Keep looking. I've been looking. It's not here. Then look harder. You're the one who threw it. Ryan, pleth. Just come down and help me. No. Why not? Because you threw my ring out a window. That's on you. You want it back? Find it yourself. She stared up at me. Even from this distance, I could see the rage on her face. Went back to searching, angrier now, kicking at rocks, shoving bushes aside. Another 10 minutes, I was actually getting bored. Considered closing the window and going back to my documentary. Then I heard her. I found it! She was holding something up the ring, reflecting in her phone light. She'd been searching for 30 minutes, in the dark, on her hands and knees, for a ring she'd thrown away in a fit of rage. She came back upstairs, breathing hard, sweating, dirt on her knees and hands, hair a mess, leaves stuck to her jacket, held out the ring. Here. Take your stupid ring. I took it, examined it, little scratched from hitting the pavement, but otherwise fine. Slipped it into my pocket. Great. Now take your boxes and leave. That's it? That's all you're going to say? What else is there to say? Wedding's off. You cheated, we're done. Take your stuff. She just stood there, staring at me, breathing hard. Then she exploded. You know what? I'm glad I slept with him. I'm glad. It was better than anything you ever did. He actually made me feel wanted. You just made me feel like I was in the way of your pre-Theouth career. The lisp made the whole rant sound ridiculous. But she kept going. I waited until she was done. You finished? No, I'm not finished. Yeah, you are. Take your boxes. Leave. Don't contact me again. You're going to regret this. When I'm famous and happy with someone who actually loveth me, you're going to with you never let me go. I'm going to wish I never met you, but that ship sailed. Now leave before I call the cops for trespassing. She grabbed one box, struggled with it. Too heavy. Had to put it down. Glared at me. You're not going to help me? Nope. You're really going to make me carry all these boxes down by myself? Yep. She looked like she wanted to throw something else, maybe the box, maybe herself at me. But she didn't. Just picked up the box again. Started dragging it toward the stairs. I hate you, she yelled back at me. I hate you the much. Mutual, have a nice life, Heather. It took her 4 trips. She had to drag the boxes one at a time. I watched from the doorway. Didn't help. Didn't offer. Just stood there while she struggled. Last box. She was crying now. Full tears streaming down her face. Mascara running again. Tooth gap making her sobs sound weird. I hope you're happy, she screamed at me from the stairs. I hope you die alone and miserable. I'm already happy. Have been since I kicked your stuff into the hallway. She let out this frustrated scream, picked up the last box. Stumbled down the stairs with it. I heard her car start. Heard her peel out of the parking lot. Closed the door. Locked it. Walked back to the couch. My phone buzzed. Text from my cousin Danny. Dude, Heather just posted on Instagram about you being an abusive, controlling, insecure ex who ruined her life. Thought you should know. She could post whatever she wanted. Everyone who mattered had seen what really happened at the country club. They knew the truth. I went back to my documentary. I laughed, turned up the volume, and enjoyed my night in peace. 3 weeks went by. Radio silence from Heather. Her Instagram posts were a masterclass in damage control. Lots of vague quotes about toxic relationships and finding yourself after trauma. Posted some filtered selfies with captions about self-love and healing. Her comments were full of supportive friends who didn't know the real story. My cousin Danny kept me updated on the fallout. Sebastian and Angela were done. Angela had blocked both of them on everything. The story had spread through the entire social circle. Everyone knew what happened. Heather and Sebastian's reputation was toast. Her parents were apparently furious about the canceled wedding and the gossip. I was feeling pretty good about everything. I thought she would leave me alone. 2 days later, I decided I needed a normal night out. Just food and conversation with the guys. Danny, our buddy Kai, and a couple others Tuesday night. Murphy's downtown, our usual spot. Irish pub, good wings, better atmosphere. Perfect place to forget about crazy exes and just relax. I got there around 7. Danny and Kai were already at our regular table near the back. Ordered some food, started catching up. About an hour in, Danny's eyes went wide. He was looking at something behind me. Dude, don't turn around, but you need to know something. What? Heather's here. I turned around anyway. Sure enough, there she was. Corner booth, facing our direction. She'd been sitting there the whole time, nursing the same soda, just watching. How long has she been here? She was here when we got here at 6:30. I didn't think much of it at first. Thought maybe she was meeting friends, but no one's joined her. She's just been sitting there, alone, watching the door. I looked at Heather again. She wasn't hiding it anymore. Direct eye contact, that weird, intense stare. She raised her glass slightly like a toast, then smiled. She came to our table, fixed her hair, like this was a date she'd been waiting for. Heather, what are you doing here? Having something to eat same as you. It's a free country. Danny and Kai exchanged looks. The kind of looks that said they were ready to step in if this got messy. Right. Well, enjoy your meal, over there, at your table. She didn't move, just stood there, eyes getting watery. Here we go. Can we talk, please? Just 5 minutes. No, I made a mistake. A huge mistake. I've been trying to reach you for weeks. I blocked you for a reason. I know I hurt you. But I was confused. Sebastian got in my head. He made me think things that weren't true. About us. About what I wanted. Kai muttered something under his breath. Danny was shaking his head. Heather, I'm going to say this once. We're done. But I love you. I always loved you. Sebastian was just... Save it. I don't care anymore. Her face crumpled. The waterworks started. Full breakdown mode. Right there in the middle of Murphy's. People were starting to stare. Please. Please just give me another chance. I'll do anything. Anything to prove I'm serious. There's nothing to prove. It's over. Move on. She grabbed my arm. Desperate now. I can't move on. You're the one. You're the only one who ever really got me. Sebastian was nothing. He meant nothing. I pulled my arm back. Calm. Controlled. Then you threw away something real for nothing. That's on you. She was full-on sobbing now. Mascara running. The whole dramatic scene. Danny stood up, putting himself between us. Hey. He said no. Time to go. But Heather wasn't done. She backed away from the table, wiping her eyes, looking around the place like she was searching for something. Then her eyes landed on the small stage in the corner. Murphy's had open mic nights on Tuesdays. Karaoke. Local musicians. Whatever. There was equipment set up, a microphone. Some guy had just finished singing Johnny Cash. Oh no. What is she doing? Kai asked. Heather walked straight to the stage, confident strides like she had a plan. She grabbed the microphone before anyone could stop her. Excuse me, sorry, I just need 1 minute. The staff looked confused. So did everyone else. She locked eyes with me from across the room. This is for you, for us, for what we had. Danny leaned over. This is about to be painful. She started scrolling through the karaoke machine, picked a song. Some ballad I didn't recognize. The music started. Slow. Emotional. The kind of song meant to make everyone cry. Then she opened her mouth and started singing. It was bad. Really bad. Like cats fighting in an alley bad. Her voice was shaky. She was trying to belt out these high notes, but it sounded like she was strangling. The whole place went silent. But not the good kind of silent. The secondhand embarrassment kind of silent. Someone near the counter laughed. Then someone else. Then a table in the corner. Heather kept going. Either she didn't notice or she was too committed to stop. She was gesturing dramatically, reaching out toward me, eyes closed, pouring her heart into this disaster. By the second verse, people were openly laughing. A group of college kids near the pool tables were recording on their phones. The bartender was trying not to laugh, but failing. Then someone booed. Just one person at first. Then another. Then a whole table joined in, "Get off the stage! This isn't American Idol! Who let the cat in?" Heather's eyes flew open. She stopped singing. The music kept playing behind her. She stood there frozen, microphone in hand, finally realizing what was happening. A large staff member came out from the back. He was not happy. "All right, that's enough. This isn't your personal concert hall." "But I'm not done." "Yeah, you are. Get down. Now." People were still booing. Someone threw a wadded-up napkin that landed near her feet. Her face went from pale to bright red. She stumbled off the stage, nearly tripping on the cord. The staff member wasn't done. "And you're banned. Don't come back." "What? You can't." "I can. And I am." That was painful for everyone here out. The entire place erupted in applause. Not for her. For throwing her out. Heather looked at me one more time. Mascara everywhere. Face red. Humiliated beyond words. She was shaking. Whether from anger or embarrassment, I couldn't tell. Probably both. She grabbed her purse from the booth and practically ran for the door. The college kids were still recording. Someone shouted, "Worst karaoke ever," as she left. The second the door closed behind her, the whole place burst into laughter and chatter. Everyone talking about what they just witnessed. The staff member came over to our table. "Friend of yours?" "Ex-girlfriend." He shook his head. "Tough break. First rounds on the house for having to deal with that." Danny was dying laughing. Kai couldn't breathe. I just sat there taking it all in. That's how you handle betrayal. You don't beg. You don't plead. You don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you broken. You just walk. And you don't look back even when they're bombing karaoke performances in your honor. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.